Very true, Rebecca. We may be scared of what next year is going to look like. Yeah, absolutely. So good morning, everyone. It is July 16th. It's a Thursday, and you are here for a Google Slides 201 session. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Bond, Virginia Bond. Bond like James, Virginia like the state. And I work for NARIC as an ISS Integration of Technology Training Specialist. Blah! That's the biggest long title. It is the longest title, by the way, at NARIC and Capital Region BOCES, which is crazy because there's actually more words to the ISS, which I refuse to speak because it's too long. So you're here for Google Slides, and I am going to put the link in the chat. Oh, the link's not here in the chat. Okay, what happened? Whoa, Lord have mercy. Do you ever have one of those days when you're like, okay, yeah, so I built this all last night and now it's sitting here. So we're going to make sure we have it. Copy, and then I'll get it in and then you'll have it. And I knew there was something else I had to do, but I had all my friends call me this morning. Not friends, my teammates. I mean, they're friends, but and I just broke Google for 30 seconds. So that's good. We're going to let it sit and hopefully it'll come back up. Otherwise, we'll just run from this one. This will work too. So I have a agenda for you that I want you to be able to use because I thought that might be easier, and it would be a piece that, there it is, that you can use and you won't have any problems with it because it'll be a little easier than following the slide presentation. I'm going to show the slide presentation and I'm going to work on that, but this will give you something that you can work in directly because I want it to be a little easier. So here's your link right there. And I'm going to quickly make sure that I change the settings. Of course I didn't. Give me 30 seconds and there you go. It's all set now. Woo! Okay, so you should be able to make it go. It should work. And you'll have the, yeah, all of you were so fast. So you are all set to go and you're able to use this. Just a little quick review is that my contact information is always at the top. So you have it. You have the ability to get in touch with me as well as the Model Schools catalog. All right, so Google Slides. It is so much more than you would typically think it is. I'm not sure why I thought I was going to give you this one, but this is not what I want you to have. It is amazing. And I think most of us probably don't use it to its biggest benefit of all the pieces that it will do. So what we are going to do today are these things right here. We're going to talk, I'm going to do a quick disclaimer. This is basically our learning targets for the day. What I want us to be able to do is by the time we leave today, we're going to understand the 80-20 rule, image masking, how to create a master slide, how to create templates, internal linking, interactive table of contents, interactive linking, which is a little different, international, inserting video and audio, and then publishing to the web. Okay, so that's a lot to plow through. And I am assuming that everyone here has been using slides to do what I would call the basic down and dirty, right? So what I mean by the basic down and dirty is I'm going to just show you one because then it'll make more sense. And I have one right here. So the Google Drawing. So the basic down and dirty is when we're going to put just text boxes in. We're going to do a little bit with images. We may be adding screenshots in. We know how to use arrows. I'm assuming you know how to do all that because that's part of what I consider to be a 101 skill. So 201, we're going to kind of jump to the next level. So the first thing, I know some of you have already heard this, but I'm going to say it again. I'll probably say it every time I'm here because you'll get sick of me. Due to Ed Law 2D, I need to review with you the fact that you must be very careful what you are adding in and using as a teacher. And because of that, or what it really means is that we're protecting students' data. We're trying to protect their PII, their personal identifiable information, so that it can't get stolen by a hacker. Now, Google has signed a contract, and you have the ability to use the Google Core components, of which Slides is. So that's all good. But I may show you other stuff, I know I will, that will not be covered, and you may have to ask your DPO, so your data privacy officer within the district. And what I typically say to people is, if you don't know, ask the DPO, because it's your DPO. It's going to be a little different than my DPO. So You'll see some things that you'll be like, I don't know if I can use that. You're going to probably have to ask. The first one right off the bat, because I'm going to start right off with one, is a thing called tab resize. So I know some of you have already seen it. It's an extension. It's over here. I already have it installed. If you have the ability to install it as a teacher and you don't have any limits on what you're allowed to install, it's a really good piece to have in place for professional development. And the reason for that is what it will do is it's going to allow me to split my screen. So when I click on it over here, it allows me to split my screen. I can actually make custom splits. So what I can do is this, I can split my screen in half like this, and I have the ability to see one side over here, but I could also have my kids over here. So if you use Google Meet, this could be very valuable for you in a remote learning situation because you can see your students and you can see your presentation at the same time.
Virginia, I'm sorry to interrupt. Are we supposed to see your screen right now?
Oh my gosh, I forgot to share my screen.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Michelle, you're the big winner for the day. I'll give you your prize later. Jeez, I'm crow. Listen, I pushed record. Isn't that enough? I pushed record, but I didn't share my screen. Let me go back. We're to table of contents. Whew. I already did this. This is the, no, it's not just you. It was me being stupid. You know, we all have those moments, a chaos moment. I'm going to put this back together. The tab resize allows me to just push a button, and for my spleen, I don't have a spleen. So if my spleen got split, it would be weird. My screen to be split. See what happened? I have the ability to split it inside. So as a teacher doing remote learning, if you're using WebEx, which most of you aren't, Google Meet, you'd be able to have your Google Meet kids on one side in grid format, and I'll show you what it would look like. You could have them popped right over there like that, right? And then you could be on the other side. So your presentation could be on the other side so you can see both things at once. Most of you do not have two screens like I do because I have you pulled off to the other side. So that's just really valuable. It's a valuable piece. It's also when we're doing a training like this, it's nice to be able to see the presentation and see what I'm doing because they're not always the same thing. And some of you that know me know that's totally the truth. It's never the same thing. Okay. So the first thing with Google Slides is that Slides in general, just like PowerPoint, is a visual tool. Okay. It's a visual tool. It's not for text, which is what we tend to do with slides, because especially if there's social studies teachers in the house or I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but the social studies teachers that I know in the past, they have used Google Slides to present their notes. So it's just a lot of text on there, and then they put their other notes in. They may write them on a smart board. That's really not the purpose of Google Slides. A slide or a PowerPoint is really built to be a visual representation of what you want to say to your peers or whoever you're presenting to our students. Sometimes we have to put in text, but my rule of thumb for any kind of visual presentation, it's 80% content and 20% pretty. That means when you're working on it, the last thing I do is actually touch how it looks. So you see right now I have a real ugly white content, right? That's it. We're going to change it eventually. But it's more important for me to get the content to you than it is to change the fonts and make it slide and shimmer and all that stuff, right? And we know our kids will put way too much time in on that, right? They worry about the pretty before they worry about the content. I can't give you a good grade on pretty. I can give you a good grade on content. So I think it's really important to kind of focus on that with your students. The way to do that is to really take your time and divide it up for them. If I'm going to give them 20 minutes to work on a presentation, which is a short amount of time, let's say an hour, I'm going to give them an hour to work on a presentation total. I'm going to give them like 10 minutes, and that's a lot. 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes is a perfect 20%. 12 minutes to do the pretty. They'll probably need about 10 or 8. So really want them to get the content in more than I want them to get the pretty in. So that's an important feature. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mask an image. So these are some images that are in here, and I'm going to put this into present mode. And if you haven't had the chance to see this beautiful young lady, this is my granddaughter, Amelia, and she is going to be the subject today. So this is Amelia. Oh, so go backwards, Virginia. This is Amelia, and she is 9 months old today. So she's my first grandbaby. So you can see what I did with a few of her images, right? I turned them into a shape. So some people don't know that you can do this. So once I insert an image in, I can come up to the crop image. And when I hit the down arrow, you can see it says mask image. And then I can pick any of the pictures that are in here. So maybe I want to do this one and see what it does to the image. It changes it. Okay, so this is I just saw an aha moment. Those are my favorites. I love it when I see that, right? It is so awesome because as you can see, I made her into a heart, right? This one's a speech bubble. I'm going to take this one right here, and I'm just going to make it a different call out, and I'm going to make it a thought bubble. And then like with these, if they have a yellow, you can pull things around like this, right? So you can do all kinds of things. And then you also can change all the borders on. I can make it an 8-point and I can change the color. So this is just a way to really customize your pictures, which is a really nice thing. And it's not just our pictures, it's any picture that you might use. So if you used a picture in, if you pulled a picture through the Explore tool, which is over here, and I looked for apple, and I just wanted to add a little apple in. I always add in apples, which is weird because it's just easy. So when I go in here and I add an apple in, I can do an apple like that. The apple will come in. I can do the same exact thing. I can mask any image that's in here. Maybe I want to make it a apple that looks like that. See how I made it a circle-y? So there's lots of things you can do. It's not just an image you put in, it's any image. It's not just your images, it's any image that you put in. I need to turn off my WebEx Teams, or I don't know about you guys who work for Eric, but my friends will drive me crazy. They're all going to have to wait. Okay, so that's pretty easy, masking images. It's a great way to really customize. It's a really fun thing to be able to do with your image. And it really kind of, brightens it up a lot. Okay, the next one is creating a template. You know what? I'm going to go back because I think I forgot one. I did. After image masking, I want to do, sorry guys, I'm going to do master the slide. So one of the things I think is important to know how to do is to really make a slide master, which basically means I can change how this looks. Because what I actually did here is you can tell that this font and this font are two different things, right? Maybe you can't, but I can, and it drives me crazy, and this font. And I don't really want to go through every slide and go like this. I don't want to go, oh, I'm going to pick this and pick the slide. I don't want to do that. That takes too much time. So what I really want to do is I want to come into view and master. So basically I'm going to make you the master of your slide. I want to say master of your domain, but you're going to be the master of your slide. It's a really nice Seinfeld joke right there. Come on, guys, stick with me here. I'm gonna open up the master. So basically, this is the overview for what the slide looks like, and this is how I can very quickly change the fonts for everything, for the whole slide all at once, because I'm going to master it. It's basically like the guiding slide content. So for this one right here, I'm going to go to Quicksand, and I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to make it 32. Okay, I'm going to go up just a little bit because it's kind of a smaller font. Hey, there you go, Cindy. There you go. Right. Awesome, right? Now I can do all my side levels. So maybe I want my first one to be Architect's Daughter, which I really like. Now you might not have all these fonts. If you want, I'll teach you a trick a little later about how to get all these fonts, because these are specialty fonts that I've brought in. And because I am what I would definitely call a font snob. I might make this one also be like Nixie one. Okay, so I probably wouldn't have that many fonts altogether. I will never do 9 levels of bullets, not even in 100 years. So what I would instead do, I only do the first 2 because I won't ever use the rest. All right. So I could change the name. I could change the layouts. I could get rid of a layout. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reapply to all. And actually, when I'm all done, I'm going to name. I'm going to select all. And I'm going to reapply to all. I think it went through anyway. And I can rename this because right now it's called Simple Light because that's the one I'm in right now. It's called Simple Light. I'm going to rename it. Okay, it's called Big Number Simple Light, and I'm going to call it Virginia Master. Okay, so that I have them so that they're the way I want them to be. Although this one did not save what I just wanted it to do. So it's got a brain of its own today. It's not me, it's you. I'm going to select them all. I'm going to do them all the same. So then it doesn't matter. Okay, save. All right, all set. And I'm going to rename Simple Light Bond. I'm going to do it like that. There we go. You can do it whatever you want, and you don't have to rename it. So now this should override all my slides. So when I come back out, you will see that my slide fonts have changed. And see now how they match? They all match, and I don't have to go through and do every one individually. Oh, this is really good too, because you don't have to worry about, you can find a theme that you like right here. And you could really like the theme and really hate the font. And this is the way to push the font through that you want without having to change every slide, every bullet, all in one foul swoop. It is a huge time saver. So mastering the slide is really important. Okay, so here's my trick for, here we go. Here's my trick for fonts, because I feel like if you're an elementary teacher, I know you're a font snob. It's just built into you, you can't help it. Long live the font snobs, right? I love them. I was that person who still carries around a, I still do, a USB drive with fonts on it, right? Because that I got no problem telling you I am. This is an add-on. So this add-on is one of the ones that you'd have to get permission in. It's only available in Docs, but I'll show you what you can do. It's called Extensis Font, and I just started. So I'm going to just say, long live, whoops, the nerds. Yay, I'm going to make it a little larger. Okay, so here it is, 30, right? See all these fonts that sit in here? This is not an option to put into Google Slides, but I found a hack. So a hack means that I can make it work a different way, but not the roundabout way, which is really, Google is all about the hack, really. So let's come down here because there's lots of, ooh, look at that, Beth Ellen. I like that, that's just fun. Okay, so I have it, right? So now I have this font, I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna take it over to my slide over here. I'm gonna just put a box in. And in that box, I'm going to paste that. See what just happened? The font came through. And now when I come up in here, Beth Ellen will become an option in all of my Google Slides from this point on, which is how I got Quicksand, an architect's daughter. I literally found it on somebody else's presentation who shared it with me. I copied and pasted it into my own slide presentation, and it was mine. So that's a little hack for you to have. Really, really helpful. So any font that you can find, you can bring in and take it somewhere else. Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome. It's all good. Okay, so creating templates. So in the past, if you've used PowerPoint, some of you were old enough. Oh, look at that. It's available for Google Slides now. Well, there you go. Thanks, Jessica. I was doing it the hard way. Well, thanks. Who knew? Girl's gonna go get her some Extensis fonts right now because I'm gonna make sure I have that. I've been doing it the hard way. Fantastic. Look at that. Done. Thank you. Yippee. Fantastic. All right, so in the past, when you've done a slide presentation on PowerPoint, you had the ability to file save as a template, right? It was one of your options. You don't really have that option anymore. What you can do is in my Drive, I can go in and I can make, excuse me, all kinds of slide presentations, right? And you can have certain ones that you use all the time. So I have this one. I'm going to come out here and then I'm going to search for it. I'm going to come up into my Drive. I'm going to search for presentations. And I'm actually, and there's going to be so many, it's going to be unusable for me to search. I'm going to come to has the words Bond Google, because that's very important, because it should also be only owned by me, and I think it says template. I may be wrong. Bond Google template. Oh my gosh, there's still too many. Oh, here it is. It says template. I made it so it said template in the name. I made one of these so that I can use it over and over again, because as a Google trainer, we get a template, but I revamped it to use a real font. So all I did was save it with the name template so I can search for it. There's not a format to go in and file save as a template there, because we have no save as. So you find something you really like, get it all built, and go from there. So if you've been to any of my presentations, you notice that most of my presentations kind of start the same way. I have a title. I usually have not a table of contents. I have a learning objectives. I will have the new disclaimer in if I'm going to show you a new tool. I have all the other stuff. Then I come down to the bottom. I have a question slide and contact information. I build that, and then I just run from that and stick the other slides in the middle that I need. So I'm constantly not building from scratch every time. It just makes my life a lot easier. So if you know you're always going to have some of the same things in there, you can do the same exact thing. It makes your life a little easier. So that's creating templates. So here's another example. These are Bitmoji boards. And I know that some of you have done some work with Bitmoji boards. These are really fun, right? Bitmoji boards are a ton of fun to build, but they're fun to build, but they're time consuming to build, right? Super time consuming. So what I've done is with my Bitmoji boards, I've taken the basic board that I've built for many of them, and I've copied and pasted them into another slide presentation so that I can always take, like, there's a little difference between them, not much, but as I work through, I could just take this one, copy it, and take it into another slide presentation, and then I'm set to go, because then I can just use that. See how easy that was? I literally just copied the slide in, and now all the images are available to me, and I can just rework it. So instead of looking through each one of my Bitmoji slides to find where it is, I just keep copying my new ones that I built into this one called Bitmoji boards. So now that I can just go grab different ones, because they're all a little different, right? The table's in a different place. I'll always look different because I'll change my clothes every time, right? And I wrote this, like, this is a template slide I will reuse for other things, right? So I have that. It just basically means I don't have to rebuild it. I built it once. Now I can just copy and paste it and make the changes that I want to it. Does that make sense? Right? So that's, again, it's a little different. Basically, I have a slide presentation that I'm going to use all the time, and I just can tweak it out. But with that, I'm keeping a set of them together. So internal linking means that I want to link within a slide presentation. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go back up here into my table of contents. This is how I'm going to show you how this works. So if I put this into present mode like this, and I click on image masking, it takes me right there. So these are like on a doc. It's like using the headlines on the side to create the outline so that I can click through and I can get through the parts of the document a little quicker. This is a way to set it up like that. This is how you do this. So I'm going to highlight my master slide. I can either right click to add a link, or I can come up to link. I tend to right click a lot more on slides than I do some other things. And you'll see, you can always just put in a link where everybody knows how to put a link into anything. But see this right here, slides in this presentation. I click on that and I scroll down, and because I already put my titles on things, I can find it really easy. There's master slide, master the slide, and I tell it to apply. And that's how you make that. So if you were setting up a template for your students that had pieces, so maybe you're going to create a slide presentation and you're going to use it, actually going to push it to your students through Google Classroom, and you're going to have them each have their own copy. You could actually set it up so this is like Monday work, Tuesday work, Wednesday work, Thursday work, Friday work. Because then they don't have to scan up and down. They can come right, they can open it up and they can click right on it and they'll know where they are. You can also do this with images. So let's insert an image. We're going to upload one from my computer. We're going to use, let's use this one. Okay, so this is just a little picture right here, right? So you can do the same exact thing for pictures, because if you're working with primary kids, they probably are not going to be able to read this. So you can do it like this. I can click image, same exact thing. I can come in and I can click through. So for our littles, I think this is a great option, because you could do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You could also have links out to, if I was going to use a website with a student, I could put the link right here on one page and then click them to another page that actually is where they would record how they did. Okay, so that is something we are missing right now, because we're missing that ability for a student to come and show us how they did. We'd have to teach a student how to take a screenshot, but they'd be able to give you a screenshot on their own slide deck that you would have access to. All right, I'm hoping that some of you are going, right, I've been missing that. That's what I'm looking for. That's a really great way to do that. All right, so that's internal linking. I actually did internal linking and an interactive table of contents at the same exact time. Simple, easy peasy, right? This internal linking gives us an interactive table of contents. It's pretty easy to use. I want to go back into my drive, and I think I have in here something that I want to show you. I either am thinking much faster than Google today, or it is decided that it hates me. It could be either. I'm okay with that, but let's try that again. I'm doubting I'm thinking faster than Google, but it's a possibility. Okay. See, I'm usually the only person that breaks Google. There it goes. It's like having a Monday morning blah. How do you name individual slides? Okay, so that's a really good, is that Holly? I'm not sure who that is, but I think it is. Yeah, look at that. Good job, Virginia. So I really didn't name the slides, so that's a good question, because that is what I said. When you put your titles in on your slides, that's what your slide becomes named, right? So you'll see if I come up here and I go to insert video and audio right here, and I go to link it, you will slides in the presentation. It's going to take the title of, it's going to take the title as the name. So then I can apply, and then it'll be linked right to that page. So I didn't really name them, I titled them. Holly, good catch for me. I used the wrong verbiage there. Oh, not a problem. So in here, I have a slide presentation that I don't have a slide presentation in there. I'm going to find it because I'm going to have you do something in a few minutes, and then I'll find it and I'll show it to you. So interactive linking. Now I have to do it now. It is in, I have to just think where it is. Oh, I know where it is. Hold on. I'm doing another presentation at 10 o'clock for a different group. So this is kind of an example of kind of some interactive work that I want to show you that you can do with a Google slide. Okay, so this one makes sense, right? So when I think about my primaries, so my littles, we don't always give them a lot of work. So who asked that question? So share deck with a student. Would it be, Sean, sorry, They get their work into the slide, cut, paste, screen capture. How about taking, you know what? Any of those work, Sean, all of those work. And it's what works best for your students at the grade level they're at. So if you're with littles, sometimes that's the easiest thing. In some students, if you're on a Chromebook, they have this, you know what, I'll draw the icon because I think I can draw it right in here. So we talk about capturing work. I get this question a lot and I never think. It looks like this. The icon for students on a Chromebook looks like this. It's actually white on the inside. It's actually black, but it looks like this on the end, right in the middle of the Chromebooks. Oh, no, right in the middle. I think there's 3 lines on that. Oh, I could have done that the other way. Duh. Copy, paste, paste. So there's an icon that looks like that on a Chromebook. I'm scrambling to find my Chromebook so I can show you where it sits. So it sits right in the middle of the school, in the middle of the 2 lines, not 3. It is a specific button. It's 2 lines, not 3. Okay. It is a specific button right there. And it sits right in the middle of every Chromebook. You can see right there where I'm pointing. Right there. That is a screen capture. It's a screenshot. Got to teach kids how to use the screenshot. Okay. They can take a screenshot, they get a picture of it, and then they can paste it right into a slide presentation. So that right there is the screenshot button. How do you like that? Not too bad for not great work there. Okay. And that is called the screenshot button. A CB is a Chromebook. Okay. So if you're interested, I believe I have somewhere, and I'll have to find it, a video on that. So to teach kids how to do that. So that'll be one of those skills we're going to have to give our kids in the new year. I think this is going to be the hardest part about, we don't know where we're going. We don't know what next year is going to look like. And we're going to have new kids on top of all that, right? We have no clue what their skill set looks like. So don't assume that they know how to do it, because I can guarantee you they probably don't, right? So finding a video on YouTube that teaches them how will be valuable. Holding your phone over and recording yourself doing it is also a way to do it without having to work your way through, do it all over again. You know, you doing that is going to be just as valuable. It doesn't matter which format you're using for videoing. Okay, let me keep going. 6, 2 lines above the 6, two lines above, oh, thank you, 2 lines above the 6. And insert the image from his camera. Yeah, see, it's okay to use it on a camera. Quite honestly, I mean, little people really need help with this, but I'll tell you what, I've seen kindergartners do it. So people are like, what? I've seen it with my own little eyes, or big eyes. Kindergartners learn how to screenshot. It's hand holding, which might not be possible right at the bat, but you might have to teach parents how to do it too. So don't think you're going to get off the bat not teaching one without the other. So I'm going to go back to this slide presentation. This is for little people. This is an interactive slide that you can build. And so here's a picture of a crab. And what we would have our little people do is this. We would have them grab and place down. So they'd have the ability to grab them. See, as soon as I get a 4 handle, I can grab, and I'd have them put them in the right order. So they're doing their words. So this is good for word families. You can see I have lots of them built in. These take a lot to build. They're not a lot to build. The box is built. Once you have the basics down, it's easy. So I would take this and duplicate this slide right here. And I'd put a different picture in here, maybe a cat, and I would just change the letters inside. Once the basic structure is built, so I have a 3-letter word and a 4-letter word built, and then you could work from that. So if you were working, and I built these for kindergarten, 1st grade. So these are some interactives that students can each do to practice components. I've also, it's very smartboard-ish. When you think about the ability to pull letters down, you could put an entire alphabet across the top and allow students to come and make these kind of things, right? Kids, we do this. I think the replication of what we do in real life is sometimes a little harder to build in tech, but it can be done. So this is an example of one of those things that can be used over and over. Once the basic structure is built, I have a 3-letter word and I have a 4-letter word. I can continue to use this structure because I could literally just copy this slide, put it into new slide presentation, and just start again, right? I can start again with a whole nother set of words. Once the structure's built, I don't have to redo it. Is the black outline, Lindsay, I lost your chat. I know you're here. I can see you asking questions. And I just scroll down. Is there a way to make the spots that they put their letters uneditable? Is there a way to make the spots uneditable? Like here, so they can't go in here? No, not really. You also can move them. This becomes more of like teaching them. You want the four arrows to be able to move the letters around. Some of these I made as just letters. Some of them I made up just boxes. Yeah, screenshot on an iPad. I would say that's a maybe, because the issue with you screenshot on an iPad is it's still the 2-finger, like the hold, just like it is on the phone, right? It's the process, or sometimes it's a hold down. I would say, I'm going to tell you this, my granddaughter's 9 months old. I don't know how she knows how, but she's figured out where the YouTube app is. I'm not kidding. She's 9 months old. She knows she can push that thing and it turns on, right? I'm like, oh, that's crazy. She loves music. She's a good little girl. So I think that's a process of just getting used to trying it. All right. No, you cannot lock an image. So will I say that? You can, no, you can't. So it's not, remember, it's not Smartboard. So on an iPad, it's the same exact way as it is on an iPhone now. They match. So it's the 2 side buttons. If you save the boxes as a background, you won't be able to move them. That's very true. You could do that. You could also save the picture as a background. And then the only things that would move would be this. I use these with kindergartners. My kindergartners knew if they moved the box by accident, they knew to just go Control Z to move it back. So it is possible. So that's a good solution to that. I really like that idea of putting them in the background. That will work. Okay, next one. Oh, let's see where I am. We're doing pretty good. Let's do some video. So let's insert a video. I think most people know how to insert a video. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to insert video. I'm going to go grab any video. I'm going to go do a TED Talk because I almost always do a TED Talk because it seems easy how to not take things personally. I think that's kind of funny. I'm going to do this one like that. I'm going to insert a video that way. That's easy, right? I think one of the other ways that we tend to sometimes forget is we want to get our own stuff into YouTube, and you notice that it's a little harder to find. So typically what I do is I go into, if you've loaded your own things to YouTube, which is what I do, I don't keep them in my Google Drive because it's just easier for me to go and get them. So they all sit on my channel. So we're going to go watch probably the best one ever. This is funny. You're going to see this in like 30 seconds. So this is going to copy. So you can copy the URL. And I'm going to insert a video. Sorry, my brain went on vacation by URL. So you can push in anything by URL. So if you're saving your stuff on Drive, you can put it there. If you have it somewhere else, you can get it there. So hopefully this will also improve. So here is, we're going to put this in. So here's the video clip, okay? And when you put a video in now, you are getting an option over here. The options will automatically start. Okay, they used to have to right click on them. But what you can do now is you can auto play when presenting. Don't forget that this exists, right? So what that means is if I go back to this slide and I turn it on, as soon as we walk into the video is going to start. As soon as I get to this page, it's going to play. Oh, that one turned on. That's not the one I want. This is the one I want. This one's boring. Okay, let's stop that one. So it will automatically play it as it comes in, which is a huge help for kids because they don't try to go off and open it into YouTube. It's going to play within the slide presentation because it's embedded in the slide presentation. That means it's in the slide presentation. They don't have to go to YouTube to open it, which one of the benefits of that is it's making it so students are not having to go off and they're not having to go find it on their own, and you don't have to worry about it, right? So if we autoplay, this will play automatically when we come through. So this is my daughter and my granddaughter deciding to scream at each other. If it will play. Yeah, it will. Oh, right? So that's my daughter and Auntie. They're yelling at each other. My granddaughter's figured out how to yell. So that is a huge benefit of it's not going off to YouTube. They're not going to go off and they're not going to get an ad. You also notice that there's no ads on my YouTube playing any, even when I was up in YouTube. It's because I'm using an extension called, I got to make sure I give you the right name. I actually have mine turned off. Ad Block Plus. So this is something you definitely have to get permission for. But yes, safeyoutube.net is great. And you can paste it in. So you don't have to do that within slides because it's embedded in the presentation. Okay. Also understand that you cannot put a YouTube video into a doc. A lot of people have tried that. You can put a link in, but you can't get it to show. That's because a doc is not built for visuals. It's built for text. Slides is built for visual. So I think that's really valuable because it's not allowing them to go off. They could get there, but this is a good way to also keep advertisements out, which I think is pretty important. Okay, so our last thing that I think I'm going to check, make sure I'm right on the list. I think I've been spot on the list, but the last one I have is I want to do publishing, which I took a little out of turn, and then I'm going to show you a couple other little tricks. Publishing a presentation. This is not hard. And a lot of people always ask me, well, why would I want to publish? So the point of publishing is that you can put it out for the world to see, but you're also in control of it. For example, if you want to publish something to parents so they can see it on the web, you can push a publication out to them, they can see it on the web, and then you can take it back when you're done with it. So it's not out there for the world to see forever. And the difference between doing that and sharing a link is if I shared a link, the link can be shared to lots and lots of people, and you may never ever have the ability to bring it back in. You could restrict it, but sometimes people can still get in with a link, right? So this is a way to kind of push it out and then to pull it back. I saw a lot of school districts use it for graduation purposes. Like they even did that with YouTube, right? We're going to show the video from say 7 o'clock today until 7 tomorrow, and then we're going to pull it back. Because in a lot of cases, there's a lot of information in there they don't want everybody to have. So here's how to do it. You go to File, and you will see that there's a Publish to the Web. So here is also the place. So this does advanced auto slides. So if you want your slide presentation to slide automatic, this is, you have to publish to the web. Okay, so on PowerPoint, you used to be able to do the timings. You used to be able to practice them, and you could say, I want it to advance every 10 seconds, and you'd be able to keep it local. That's not an option within Google. To make that happen, you have to publish. So you have other options. So if you wanted to put like a slide presentation up to parents, this is a really good, I mean, this is a way to put like a welcome back or a welcome to my classroom thing out to parents and just put it out, and you don't have to worry about if they have slides because it's published. It's a website is basically what you're building. So I'm going to do every 10 seconds. And it'll say start slideshow as soon as the player loads. Okay. And restart it after the last slide. Yep. That's actually what I want. And I'm going to say publish. So I'm going to publish. It says, are you sure you want to publish? I am. Okay. And then I have a link. So I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to paste it. So there's the link. And this is what it looks like, right? And it's just going to play every 10 seconds. It's going to run along. It'll move along every 10 seconds or so. And I kind of picked along. So you can see it's moving. So this will kind of work its way through. But this is a good way to push out content. So now let's say that I'm done with it and I don't want it to go anymore. So I'm going to come back in. I'm going to look here. You can see what it says right here. Publish content and settings. I can stop publishing. So I can make it come back. Are you sure you want to stop publishing this document? And I say yes. And when I go to push the link, oh gosh, I hope this works because last time it did work last time. Look at this document is not published. So it's a really good way to push out a content without having to worry about, I can push it out for a short amount of time and I can pull it back. And I like that. I've seen classroom teachers do this to publish student work out to students. So you want to showcase your students, but you only want to show that. You do not set the destination on the web. Google sets the destination on the web. So you're not in charge. Okay. And I wouldn't, you just kind of let them do the dirty work, right? It's the easiest thing. You push the button, you grab the link, you can send it to people, and then you're in charge of it. So you're not really pushing it anywhere. I mean, I could use it on I have a website. I could push it to my own website, but you're not pushing it out to be published anywhere, which is, I think, another really good feature. So those are some of the biggest things. If I was going to give you a couple other little treats, I guess my other little treats would be this. And I will just show you one so you see it. Doing stop animation is a really cool thing to do with, I think this is a slide that has it. It is. So stop animation is a really cool thing to show kids and see if they can figure it out. It's kind of a nice creation project. We don't do a lot that allows our kids to create, especially with slides. So this is what it looks like if I just run it and you just watch. Okay, it's not very exciting. Okay, so all it is, stop animation, is you build a slide background, and then what you do is you create something and you move it along. So you guys remember clay animation? A lot of you remember claymation. That's what this is with a slide, right? And you can do it with anything. So have your kids think of ways. I've had myself do like cartwheels, and kids are like, and I'll actually publish it out and they'll be like, oh, and I'm like, okay, make one. And they're like, what? So it takes them a little bit of time, but all of a sudden they figure it out and then they start, and they're fun. They take a lot of time, but all you do is you take this person, you duplicate a slide. So that's a right click on a slide, you duplicate it. And all you do is you just move her a little, and that's it. And then you go to the next one, and then you go to the next one, and then you go to the next one, and you go to the next one. They're a little time consuming, but they're really fun to build. I say that as a total dork, right? As they're just a total dork. I like those kind of things. I think those are very valuable. So I'm so proud of myself. I have time to spare. So I am going to stop sharing. And if you have questions regarding PowerPoint, things that you want to know how to do that I didn't cover, if you have some other ideas that you want me to kind of delve into, let me know. And I'm going to stay here, so you are free to ask me any questions you want. How do you like that? It never happens. By the way, you notice that I have no transitions. I think transitions are literally a waste of time, because I like you guys, but I bet you don't care that I'm presenting to you on white with black, right? It's okay if I was going to do something to like a board presentation. I know what I want to share with you. I'm not done sharing. I have something to share. This is a find for me that I feel was like so exciting, and it kind of blew my mind. It's called Slidesmania. Has anybody ever been here? So I'm just going to type in Slidesmania because I can't remember. Oh, it's slidesmania.com. So this is a person who creates free templates and Google Slides for PowerPoint. And I've read a lot about this. A lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't take these. And I'm like, oh my God, you should take these, right? This is one of them, Slides Mania. And it's like she has a whole education component in here. Like if you're a planner person, she gives you a digital planner. Okay, there's a treasure hunt here. There are game boards in here. Oh my gosh. I'm like, these are awesome. There's also like formal presentations. They're really, I mean, these are really nice. This is like she set up your master slide basically. You just go in and start presenting. You just go in and start building with these things. So let me show you the process. I'm going to go into the colors one. So if I come into colors, like, I think I picked this rainbow one, which is one of the ones I really liked because she had this oh, look at this one. Look at the challenge board. There's just some really, there's Lego one here. So people want a math one. So I was thinking about this for math. So it comes with the tiles so your kids can do counting. And basically you're giving them some manipulatives so that they can work with. And it talks about arrays, which is really cool. So how do so I went through and now I got to figure out how there was like a link. Oh, it's down here. Download, get the slides theme. So as soon as you do that, it loads right and you can tell it to use the template. I mean, it's pretty easy. And I was like, oh, this one is really, really cool. And it's just going to open in a slide presentation. And there you go. Oh, of course I have the Magic Rainbow Unicorn add-on. Thank you for asking. Yes, I have it. I'm like a super crazy freak. Yes, and I got yelled at when I added it because it was not appropriate, is what I was told by our technicians at NARIC. And I said, oh, well, too bad, so sad. I want it. Give it to me. And they're like, no, no, no. So that I love this one. I think this one's really cool, right? You can kind of do all kinds of stuff with it. Isn't that cool, right? And they even give you ideas, which I really think is really kind of fun. Here's another one that I found, and this one I also don't know the name of. Slido, I think is the name. That is it. No, Slido. I was close. No, that's not it. One of them has like slide presentations that you can use, and it was free, and I don't think that was it. I really thought it was Slido. I'll have to remember what that is. I'll add it to the presentation so you have it. So I really like Slack Media, lots of really fun things in there. Many Word files that I would like to convert to slides. There really are, it seems like you have to do side by, yeah, it does. There really is, now there may be a tool out there. So if I was gonna look for something, Sean, what I'd probably do is I'd go to the web store. Yep, I just type in Chrome Web Store. I'd go to the web store. I'm going to share my screen. Am I still? No, I'm not sharing. I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'd go to the web store. I'd look in there and I look for, I might do a little research first. I might do docs to slides and see if there's anything in there. So, because you don't really want a PDF converter. So what I might do is doc to slides add-on. I'm not sure if there is anything because I think probably the best thing is to just do, there's some scripts there. Oh, Alice Keeler has something that might be defunct though. Oh, wait. No, I have that, but that's not it. So you kind of have to do some work and try to figure out. And I think the side-by-side using like tab resize where you have them side by side and you could just copy and paste from one to the other is probably your best bet. It's not a good solution. Sorry. I just saw whitelisted. I know that's not going to be a great. You're welcome. Did you say it says, yeah, is that a NARIC person who was at Kate Morgan? Basically it means that your district hasn't given you permission to use that. So you have to ask for permission to use font, Kate. Yeah, so they'll have a list. You can ask, right? I will tell you that if you go to Google, I think it's Google Fonts. Google does have a lot. They just don't have enough for me. There is a fonts.google.com. I told you I'm a font snob. So there are lots in here. So that may also not be available to you. So this is it. I don't think it is. It might be Slido. So you can see they have a lot of fonts in here. It's just not as nice as some of the other ones. That's fonts.google.com, which is another good link you can use. All right, so awesome. There you go, Kate. Who just said I have a problem with a lot of extensions? Oh, Michelle. Yeah, me too. I'm waiting for the day that Eric turns me off because if you can see, hi, my name is Virginia and I have an extension habit. I got no problem with that. But because I'm their only Google trainer, they're kind of really nice. See, now, Lindsay, I know you see they have a lot of fonts, but they don't have a lot of pretty fonts. That's my issue. I'm definitely a font snob. All right, so that's, I think, pretty much it. I'm going to stay around for a few minutes. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask, but I am going to turn the recording off. Session should be, when I get the video